Hi YouTube, it's Carrie, Lady VSG here with your oh no, week 16 update. I forgot to check. So it's an update. Today is July 28th, 2015. I had my VSG surgery April 6th, 2015 in Tijuana, Mexico with Dr. Ariel Ortiz at the Obesity Control Center. When I booked the surgery, I weighed 301.8 pounds. The day of surgery, I weighed in at 272, and today I weighed 218.7 pounds, so a loss of only 0.8 pounds this week, so not even like one whole pound, and overall a loss of 83.1 pounds, and I'm 5'7". So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to try and make this one kind of quick because I'm late with the video and I need to be getting ready for work here pretty soon. So in terms of what I'm eating this week, I actually went camping, and so I did a lot of things that would be easy to take and I didn't have to do a whole lot of prep. So I brought hot dogs and hamburgers, like the pre-made hamburgers that you can get in the frozen food section, because then, you know, they were already cold, put them in the cooler and they don't thaw as quickly. So I did, you know, hamburgers a lot because it turns out I really like hamburgers, you know, and I just didn't use a bun or anything. I brought the hot dogs. I ended up not eating them, but I like hot dogs. Sometimes I just kind of crave one. So I still have them in the fridge, and that's fine. But in terms of snacks, there were a couple of things that I really liked. So first, I bought a couple different types of almonds. I really like those wasabi and soy almonds, so I have a big bag of those. I also found this it's a 5-ounce bag. I think it costs like $7 or something, but they're cocoa roast almonds. I really like these. So they're a little bit sweet, but not, you know, like not overly sugary or anything. These are my new favorite. I wish they came in a bigger bag. I would totally shell out the money for like a larger size of these. So I really recommend these. So for a 1-ounce serving, it's 160 calories, but I mean, nuts are kind of high in calories anyway. I also really liked, I brought a bunch of these along. So these are P3, I think they're Oscar Mayer. Yeah. And so these I found in the refrigerated section at Fred Meyer next to like the lunch meats and things. So they have a couple different types. This one has 13 grams of protein. I remember there was some that had 12 and some that had 14, I think. So they all have like a meat, a cheese, and nuts. And you can see like the little compartments, you know. So, and they're all right around, like this one's 200 calories for the whole package. But I really like these because they're little servings, like little portions you can kind of see. But I found them pretty satisfying. This one has the dry roasted peanuts, and I like peanuts, but I'm finding I prefer almonds, and I'm not sure why, because I used to be a huge peanut person. So, but anyway, yeah, so these I also really recommend. And then the last thing that I took that I really, really liked, these I found at Target, and they're marketed towards kids, but they're Chobani, they're like yogurt tubes. And this one's, of course, chocolate dust, because I love chocolate. Oh, and they're in a box of like 8. And I want to say it was maybe $5 for the box. They're not labeled for individual sale, so the nutrition info isn't on there. Hang on, let me see if I can find it on the MyFitnessPal, because I know I've logged it a couple of times. But anyway, so those were sort of the snacky things that I took along. And I really like them. I mean, and I've been really liking taking these Chobanis to work in my lunch sack, because I work night shift, and so I don't get a ton of what am I talking about? I work at a nursing home, and I'm the only nurse on the night shift, so I don't get an official lunch break. So, because there's nobody who can cover for me because I'm the only nurse. So I get paid, like even if I'm only there 8 hours, I get paid for 8.5 because I don't get to take a lunch break. And so I don't take like an actual lunch really to work, because I'm not going to have time to sit there and eat it. Like there's always, you know, like I have time at the desk, you know, but there's always something I need to be doing, whether it's paperwork or orders or giving people Medicaid, like if they need pain medicine or something, or if somebody's feeling sick, like I need to go assess them. So I don't have 30 minutes that I can just sit at the desk and eat. So I like to take these sorts of things because it's a small enough tube that I can kind of I can get it down pretty quickly, which is probably terrible. I shouldn't be eating fast, but you know, whatever. Oh, okay, let's see here. So one tube is 60 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 7 grams of carb, and 5 grams of protein. So, I mean, not the best. And it says a tube is 57 grams, which that's not super helpful. I was kind of hoping it'd be in ounces. I don't know. I have no idea how big that is. But anyway, like I can pretty much eat it all at once, unlike some of those bigger Chobani like cups. Like some of those, I kind of need to take a break. But anyway, so that's sort of what I'm eating right now in terms of snacks. So between like the almonds, I usually take a couple little 1 ounce packages of almonds. I've got baby food, like plastic baby food containers that I got off of Amazon that have markings that delineate 1 ounce and 2 ounce. But I also have a kitchen scale, and so I measured out the almonds, and it turns out like if I fill the almonds to the 2 ounce marker, that's actually 1 ounce of almonds by weight. So I'm assuming that marker is because it's meant for baby food, which is pureed. But so I'll take a couple baby food things of almonds. I usually only eat one, but I'm paranoid and I like to have two, like just in case I really need something to crunch on. And I'll take a yogurt thing. I have a couple of these left. I should start taking these to work too. Like that'd be great. I just have to keep them in the fridge, you know. I mean, I have to keep my lunchbox in the fridge anyway because of the yogurt, so. But those are sort of like the little snacky things that I'm working on right now. I'm still doing 1 protein shake a day at least, sometimes 2, just sort of depending on a combination of how hot it is and how lazy I'm feeling. I bought a bunch of low-cal Gatorades to take camping because I'm not drinking soda, and so I've got some of those left over, which I love. And then, of course, just making sure I'm getting my fluids in because that's important, and I'm scared that I'm going to like have constipation issues and things like that. Plus, I have noticed I lose weight easier when I make sure that I'm really well hydrated, which, you know, makes sense because then my body's getting enough fluid that it's not trying to retain. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm eating. In terms of how I'm thinking and feeling, I think I mentioned in the last video that I was thinking about sending an email to the riding school where I want to start horseback riding again because it's something I was super into when I was younger and then, you know, couldn't do really when I was heavier. Even if the horses could hold me, like I wasn't in control of enough of my body to feel confident and comfortable on a horse. And I had tried it when I was like 250 pounds. And so I knew at 300 pounds, like there's just no way it wasn't going to happen. So I sent her an email and I said, you know, I'm down to 220. I'm on a medically supervised diet. How much weight would I need to lose before I could start riding again? And she emailed me back and was like, you know, honestly, like you should just come in for an evaluation lesson and then we can kind of figure out where to place you because right now you should be fine. So I'm really excited. I emailed her. We've been emailing back and forth trying to figure out a day that works because since I work night shift, I go to bed right when I come home. So I'm usually in bed by 7:30, 8 a.m. And I don't schedule anything before 2 o'clock because ideally I'll sleep until 2. It's never happened yet. I'm always waking up sooner than that. And I wonder if part of that is because I don't have blackout curtains or anything on my windows. And it's getting really difficult for me to sleep when it's so bright. But anyway, long story short, today we decided on August 5th is going to be my evaluation lesson. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I'm really excited. Like, I was that girl that was obsessed with horses as a kid. I don't think I'm as obsessed now as an adult, but I think part of that is just because, like, as an adult, it's like I'm supposed to have outgrown sort of obsessive things, so I just don't talk about them as often as I want to. Although my friends will tell you that I can work Harry Potter into any conversation ever. Horses are kind of the same thing. I love horses. I'm so excited to start riding again. Plus, it's physical activity, but it's something that I really enjoy, and so I feel like that's ideal, is finding something that I want to do that's physically active, but that I'm not going to feel like I'm somehow punishing myself, you know? Like, I know that body pump is good for me, and I know that yoga is good for me, but both of those aren't things that I'm particularly passionate about. They're just sort of, they're exercise obligations that I don't resent, you know? And Zumba's kind of the same way. Like, There almost every day when I'm like, oh, I have to go to Zumba. Like there's a little part of me that's like, I don't really want to do this. And I've never felt that way about going to ride horses. So I'm really excited. My goal is to get strong enough and to the point where I can where I could ride like twice a week, because so that's lessons are usually 30 minutes to an hour, and then just doing my walks around. I feel like that's gonna be getting me good consistent exercise in. Plus, hopefully, since horseback riding involves a lot of like thigh, leg, butt muscles. Hopefully my thighs will look amazing too. I'll have lots of like really nice muscle definition. Might be a pipe dream. We'll see. Let's see what else is going on. So yeah, I mean, those are sort of the main things. Oh, and I walk around the park where I live. Usually doing a figure 8 kind of loop is about a mile, and I had been doing 2 miles for the last week or so. I upped it to doing 3 figure 8s, so it's probably a little under 3 miles, because I think the figure 8 isn't quite a mile. But I'm excited because now I've gotten to a point where I can do the 3 miles and I don't feel like, oh my god, I'm so exhausted by the end of it. So I'm doing that almost every day. I'm getting my 12,000 steps in via my Fitbit almost every day, and I'm going to start riding horses. So I'm feeling a lot better just mentally about I'm actually, I'm not like super active. My sister used to run cross country, and so she's still a runner. And so there's a part of me that's like, well, I'm not, I'm not an athlete or anything, but I'm far more active than I was back in April when I was 300 pounds, so I'm really excited about that. So that's kind of where I'm at this week. Hopefully you all are doing great, and I will check in with you guys next week. Okay, bye.